Hello and welcome to the CRO Podcast with your host, myself, Courtney, and this is Will.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. We're co-founders of the CRO agency and manage the CRO network.
Hmm? And today we're going to dive into how marketing agencies can start offering CRO as a service. Very, very important. So, what we're going to cover there is just why you might actually want to consider this as a marketing agency. We'll go through the end to end process and how to manage it as well. We'll take a look at the key technology. And at the end, we will actually take a look at the easiest pitfall, which is something that you
Mm.
definitely would like to avoid. So, to kick us off, why might I consider it as a marketing agency? Over to you.
Ooh, I think first off, as I think most people who listen to this podcast will be aware, is that if you're not doing it, the performance could be better. Like fundamentally, doing CRO will provide a better landing page, which will allow you to provide better results for your clients. It's also got a lot of like tangential benefits, such as it provides structured learnings. It allows you to move away from like the court of opinion towards more data-driven ideas. So when you're ideating with the client and you can actually test something, or if you have a disagreement, you think this, that, whatever the issue is, you can just test it and offer it that way, which is in itself an incredibly valuable tool. Rather than just everything being done on trust and belief, you can just provide hard data and find out. And I will say, you will be ready to be wrong. Like, people are so weird on the internet. But genuinely, so it is important. You will be able to provide better performance. You will provide structured learnings, which are, data backed, and that's incredibly valuable to your client. And yeah, you'll be able to manage, situations and navigate issues that otherwise may, you may be unhappy with, frankly. And yeah, so it's a really valuable service, particularly nowadays as efficiency just matters more and more and more. Like, we've got to do more with less. And if you can suddenly just make your marketing spend 30% more efficient, then you've hit the financial plan for the year. It's like, go have a holiday. It's great.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. What do you think, Courtney? Any
Get
other
those
fun
wins in
reasons?
early.
Genuinely, like,
Yeah.
there's often a few.
Yeah, 100%. And get those wins in early and then everything just sort of like chills out a little
Mm,
bit, doesn't it? Which is what you
yeah.
want. Ideal.
Yeah, exactly. It's just about getting into a cadence with it. And we will go
Mm-hmm.
through how you do it. Admittedly, like, there are, we'll go through kind of should we say, the low touch method. Like, if you're just adding this as like an extra service, then, like, this is the, low touch, not super stressful way of doing it. And like, also, this is something that, if you are a brand and you are listening, you could absolutely do this yourself. Please get started. Like, we'll talk about this every single day, which is, everyone should do CRO. If you're not doing CRO, you are missing out. And it's not that hard to do CRO. It just sounds fancy and difficult, but really, we're here to break it down for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
I mean, we can just dive straight into the process, I guess. And this is something that you can definitely just like adopt immediately. Like, it's so straightforward, to be fair.
Cool. Well, yeah. So, I mean, the process itself, the key parts that make up for it. So you start off with ideation. You then do test design. Then you do test build, test launch, QA, and like making sure everything works fine with launch, which we will talk about a little bit more. Test analysis, like what do you do while the test is live, and then post test actions and analysis. As well as like how to manage this kind of thing. Like, honestly, use a Kanban board. So just like have all your tests in one column of like, these are your ideas, have another column for prioritized, and then just have one for, design, build, launch, and then just manage it that way. If you don't have that many tests, it's a super easy and transparent way of doing it. If you've got loads of tests, then yeah, we recommend, there are just more advanced ways of doing it, which, we would generally recommend just like whack into a big Google sheet and start building something that exactly you need. But yeah, so I mean, ideation, we have talked, I mean, Courtney, you've written lots of fun articles about this as well, about good frameworks that you can use to analyze and audit pages and come up with fun ideas. Do you want to give them the very top highlights of some of those?
Yeah, I mean, with the framework, like when you're kind of looking at it, I think, the most fundamental thing to understand is it's not just about aesthetics. So we're not just saying like, oh, okay, this button is
Mm,
red and maybe we should make it green. It's less about that, and it's much more about the psychology that people have when they visit your page. So when we think about it from their point of view, you have someone that's coming to your page for a reason. They've clicked on an ad, they're interested, they have a pain point,
hmm
there's something there. There's a need, there's a want, there's a pain. And what you need to do is just make sure that that experience for them is super simple. So we need to make it relevant as well. Immediately when someone comes to your page, like, why am I here? What am I doing? If they don't actually recognize, a relevance, if they've clicked on an ad that says get your free quote, they come to a page that says,
Quick
here's
demo.
a quick demo.
Yeah.
It's not relevant to me. That's not what I
Yep.
clicked on. I'm leaving. So make sure that, things are relevant. You want to have trust, because
Mhm.
people, trust, it's a trust economy on the internet. People really have no idea. You need to make sure that you have things like that are going to make it clear. You want to make sure like clarity is vital. You want to make sure that it's very clear where I have to click. You don't want to come to a page that doesn't have a CTA where you have to search for it. All these sorts of things compound
Yeah.
on that to really just make it, okay, well, if I'm going to the page, what stands out first? And these things, especially if there's a missing CTA, for example, or there's far too much copy, they're so simple to change and they're very high impact tests that you can do. And that's
That's the
what makes them
pony.
great. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely agreed. And I will say, quite since I think you coined the term of CRO as risk management. So it's much,
Hmm.
don't try to sell people on a landing page, just like manage their internal fears. And you have written some great articles. People go read them, watch the other podcasts. But you bang on the money there regarding like just very simple audit and find simple, easy to test. So like when you're starting off, ideate easy. Like we'll talk about the easiest pit,
Yeah.
one of the big pitfalls later on. But like just start off quick and easy. And there are tools that you can do so quickly and get a test live in 5 minutes, which again we will talk through in a minute or two.
Hmm.
Other things for ideation, if I'm honest, so we feed the transcripts from all of our podcasts into Claude, and we now do get him to give us some landing page ideas and test ideas. I will say, first point, the generic AI, when we've done this in the past, just haven't been very good. It's getting better with these transcripts, and it's getting semi-interesting because we just continually talk about our frameworks. This is why we talk about we're teaching everybody. We're trying to automate ourselves. And it's getting it's getting there. It's not amazing, but again, it will find those super straightforward issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's another source. But yeah, generally speaking, just like have a look. Is it yeah. I think that's
Get
enough on
someone to go
ideation.
through it. Yeah, you could also just get someone. So if you have, like for example, hearing aids is a very popular vertical. If you have someone that is kind of in that age group, a aunt, an uncle, a parent of sorts, anyone really, who is in that age group, just give them
Yeah.
a phone with the page and
Watch
just
them
like
then
go.
open up on
Yeah,
iPad
exactly.
for one.
You'll get
You're like, oh my God, what?
yes.
You
So
see
get
the
them on their
zoomed in fonts.
iPads.
And you're like,
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah. But there's all these pop-ups coming from nowhere, and you're just like, what is going on? And just watch them go through it and ask them like what they had difficulty with or something like that. Like get the insights from other people as
Yeah.
well. Because
Yeah.
the one thing that makes everything very, very difficult is being able to see the forest for the trees. If you're actually involved in creating this and building this and designing this, then you know what intention is behind that. So you have full context and understanding. If you give it to someone who has none of that, no context, and you say, okay, now go do,
Mm.
and they struggle, then you realize, okay, well, I've had too much context on this. I need to reframe, I need to rejig, and I need to make sure that someone who's just coming to this page for the first time understands what I'm asking of them and what they need to do.
Yeah. 100%. I think, again, if you have built the page yourself, generally get a third party to look at it. Like we look at
Yeah.
lots of pages for people. We occasionally do get other people to look at our pages as well, being like, we've just spent like a week building this. Like we think we're insane, but please look at it.
Yeah, I've
It's
been
so
staring at
useful.
this button for 48 hours. Like I need someone else to have a look at it.
Oh God. Yeah. So I mean, that's on the ideation test design. So I mean, Courtney does. Frankly, well, Courtney is designer extraordinaire nowadays.
Adding that to LinkedIn, I can do a
Yeah.
post about that.
Here's how Figma changed my life.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious, the amount of hours I've spent in Figma. Many hours, but to be fair, it's quite easy. I mean, I think part of like obviously the test design you need to see it, especially because we have a dev who quite a lot of the time builds these pages out for us because they're hard coded. We also use no code tools like Leadform. We use no code tools like Heyflow, which is where I do basically all of the work on that one, like design. And I think that when you actually have that design and you can see it for yourself as well, that really brings it to life. And then you can actually see, okay, is this going to make sense? Is this not going to make sense?
Yep.
But it gives you the option to vet that one more time and just be like, okay, what are we doing? Does this design even work?
Yeah.
It's
So like
good.
when you've got your, yeah, no, absolutely. Because again, you made such great points, Courtney. I love it. Absolutely. Because often you have a hypothesis that you've generated from your ideation. We should have mentioned that you generate a hypothesis from ideation like that. That's you test against a hypothesis. Like this will get it better because of this. Yeah. And then you actually have to build the design,
If
a
then
test,
because.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you build the test itself, you're like, I will design it. You're like, oh, how does this actually gonna, it really is a really good filter, and it's a really good way of understanding exactly how we're trying to get to the point that matters. So
Yeah.
yeah, you really have to build it out. We do use Figma. You can, AI nowadays, again, can mock up pages and it's not wonderful, but it's okay. Again, if
Yeah.
you're, or depending on how
Depending
you're
on how
deploying
pixel
tests.
perfect you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to test build, which yeah, we often, as mentioned, hard code pages, or we use no code software, such as Hayflow and Leadform. Both are great. Genuinely, we recommend the hell out of both of
Yeah,
them.
absolutely.
There is a third path which we would recommend if you're offering CRO as a service, which is using the no code editor built within most CRO tools. So we'll go into the tools themselves, but they nearly all have an HTML CSS editor baked into them, so they can just host variant pages within the software itself. You just go in, make a few changes, and that's it. And generally, like that's literally it. Maybe we should have, at some point, we will do a live demo of this. It's very straight. It's like,
Yeah, that's a good
it's great. We
idea.
really should. I know. We've been
Yeah,
sitting on
that's
that.
a
We've been
fun.
sleeping.
Oh my
We
goodness.
do a
Okay,
walkthrough.
putting that down, putting that in the little black book of plans.
It's quite a long black book at this point.
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
black novel. Oh, it doesn't sound very good.
there is a really big benefit to doing this as well, is that you don't actually need any additional software. Like just using the CRO thingy, or CRO, the inbuilt HTML editors into these ones, like it handle, you don't need to build a new page, you don't need to code anything extra. And you can, like most of these, like you can completely recode and reskin a page through them if you're like willing to put the time and effort into it. Or
it makes
just
it
like
so accessible.
Yeah,
Just
it's
so
really accessible, super easy. And nowadays they have MCPs, so you can vibe code your test designs through them. Convert has that. I mean, Chameleon as well. Like, frankly, it's just where it's all trending. It's super, it's great. It's great. So yeah, again, the barrier to entry to CRO is really, really falling. So you can ideate easily, you can design easily, you can build easily. You need so little tech. We would mention the tech, but literally the tech is like install head code, use technology, then use software. I mean, it's kind of it. It's more complicated, I promise. It's more when you get a bit more hands-on and trying to do more, but to start, like that is all you need. To launch a test, main things to mention, before you do any actual testing, do an AA test. Again, a lot of platforms have this built in, but just like compare your control against itself and see, like, do you get an even split of conversions? Like, what's going on? Like, what you're looking for is just any particular setup issues or issues with where the software is either splitting traffic or the way it can have lags and latency issues and like all kinds of issues. You're just there to just find any issues, because there was nothing worse than finding this out after you've been like, wow, guys, we just made you all this money. We just changed everything. So like, please do an AA test. Like, we cannot recommend it more. Do a test lead,
100%.
check the process. Like, just do your QA. Like, do your QA, and then set up your goals. The goals are like your conversions. So often you have a thank you page or a click on a button, or a particular action that happens, and you can set these up without coding. As like, if a visitor visits this URL or clicks this page, just set up as a goal. Again, all CRO softwares have like native goal solutions where you just type them in and that's it. And then you put in your target URL, I guess, but then you click launch, and that's kind of it. So your test is now live.
It's always a little bit scary click and launch. I'm going to say I still get the heebie-jeebies even now. Like, I'll do 4 tests in a day. I'll launch 4 of them, and every single one I'm like, oh, well, nothing has gone wrong so far.
I'm glad you mentioned it, because it's the next point, which is the test analysis, which is, first off, once you've launched a test, like, look at it after like an hour, like look at it pretty quickly. Just like make sure the live logs are coming through, this traffic split is happening. Like, you can physically force, you can see the traffic split if you like continue to open stuff in incognito mode. So just like make sure it is happening. Just be paranoid, because trust me,
Make
it
sure the
pays to be
split is
paranoid.
happening as well, that you're getting sent
Yeah,
to both pages, which is
yeah,
actually kind of a little bit of a pain because quite often you just get locked into one version for a bit and then you
yeah,
gotta. But I mean, that faff is worth it. You just need to make sure that all this is happening.
yeah,
Test leads also need to be
yeah,
something that you think about, just making sure that everything's going through, everything's built correctly. Like it's something that is very, very important because if it all doesn't work, then it's just a whole waste of time, energy, and money.
yeah.
To be fair.
And we firmly see this as part of the test analysis. It's like the day one test analysis, but this is the test analysis. If you're
Yeah.
running stuff and like doing using Google, if you've set up your tagging, your event side GTM and Google Analytics, you will have to wait until tomorrow to find out, which is a little sad. But
Yeah.
you can look at it then, which is fine. Other test analysis, yeah. So you are looking for statistical significance. First point, do not promote something within 5 days. Just give it at least 5 days. You're waiting for statistical significance, and I would usually have a minimum number of conversions as well that need to be hit before I'm like, I believe that, because you can get massive swings very early on from just statistics having fun. So generally, you do want a couple hundred conversions through the control and test. You can do less so if it's a very large app, that's fine. But you are looking for greater than 95% significance wherever possible. You can do 90% significance in some cases, but it's really not best practice. 95% is reasonable. And how long you run a test for. So if I'm honest, you can just use an A/B test sample size calculator where you put in your uplift and how it'll tell you. But
Yeah.
something called statistical power, you're just running it until generally 80% statistical power. If you hit that, then you're done here. And you should have seen the result by now. And most CRO tools have that baked in. But again, if you're unsure, we will go into this as some of the key technology. Like there are good websites that just facilitate all of this and have these calculators for you. So again, you can just get started. And then post-test actions. Yeah, it's if it wins, promote it. Great.
Yay, we love that. That's fun.
We love it. So much fun. Admittedly, then you actually have to code stuff occasionally or actually make changes to the thing. So then you have to, but often the client has a dev team and you just send them the winning design and be like, can you build this? Job done. Ideally, I would recommend you guys build it because there are good reasons why you want to own the building process and make sure like this is your, like you want to be sure like this is right.
But you don't want anything lost in translation.
But there are ways and ways. And yeah, we offer like an all-in-one solution so that we just handle all of it. Because also it's just more convenient for the client. We're not taking up their tech resource. We're not waiting a month to promote a test because, their tech team is rammed. So if you can offer it.
And if there's anything that is always true, it's that devs are always busy.
Yeah, so much. Even I saw with vibe coding now, or like AI, like it's just gotten like people just want to do even more. Like the prioritization is being shifted and it's not good. I feel, I think we're a little guilty of that sometimes.
A little bit.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
Exactly. Oops.
So, and other post-test analysis, if you haven't, like big things to look at your device split, mobile versus desktop and tablet. Tablet will be less, but look at it. The source really, really, really matters. And also, big part of this is making sure that conversion event within your CRO tool is accurate. Check it against your CRO. Check it against a place of truth that is accurate. And if there is differences in the numbers, then what you need to do is start pushing through data from your test to wherever the place of truth is and start using that place of truth as your test result rather than the third-party tagging and data. So I mean, the end-to-end process and how to manage it. First off, manage it using Kanban board. The steps, I mean, you can literally just make these columns in the Kanban board. Ideation, so whack your ideas into there. Test design, so put your prioritized test and designed into there. Test build, which tests are being built. You can, honestly, we recommend using the no-code tools and HTML editors built within the CRO softwares for like very easy, low-touch stuff. Launch the tests, be paranoid, check everything multiple times, desktop and mobile. Do your test and analysis where you're actually checking on day one and you're checking for statistical significance. And when you post test analysis, check all the different segments as well. It's really important. And that your data is in fact true and accurate. Do not assume that it is.
Yes.
Lovely. Technology. I mean, we are going to fly through this because I think we don't have a huge amount of time, but great landing page software. Again, we recommend Leadform and Hayflow. They also have A/B testing built in and question drop off. So if you're generating leads, those are your primary options. Like quite sincerely, those are your primary options. Like just use them. They're great. There are like other like unbounces, no code landing page software, but often you're dealing.
It's a little bit different though, isn't it? It doesn't have kind of that like. I think that Leadform and Hayflow are kind of built with this concept of lead generation and being able to do CRO natively. And that's what makes them such a cut above the rest. Whereas Unbounce is kind of just generally just
generic landing pages.
Yeah, landing pages, but without that kind of view on, okay, we want to do like lead generation and how do we, and it just doesn't have that view on it. And I think that's why, Hayflow and Leadform, honestly, go check them out.
What's there's Lovable. Lovable is cool. It can build websites and landing pages pretty quickly. I will say, it does like, I don't always have, the pages can look very generic and some of the like page speed things aren't wonderful because they're kind of over designed. So you have to be kind of careful. We don't love it, but again, easy. So if you want to start offering this as a service, easy route. CRO software itself. So this is, if you use the HTML editors within the CRO software, while it limits what you can test, very importantly, it means you need nothing else. It's all you need. So CRO software, we recommend convert.com. They are great. They've got a great HTML editor. All you do is grab their head code, which is like, just tells them like this experiment's happening. You put it onto your page and you put it onto wherever your conversion event is. That's it. You just copy the paste and whack in your head code and then set up the test within Convert. It's super easy. Crazy Egg is a good cheap option. We have had some issues with it in the past, but it's worth testing because it's way cheaper than the other options. There are quite a few up and coming tools. Actually, I've got a friend who's launching one, which we won't plug here yet because it's not out of beta yet. But again, there are lots of CRO tools that are worth testing and having a look at. VWO, again, I used to have a free plan. I'm not sure if it does anymore. But you can get, at least historically, you could just get started with it, which was wonderful. AB Tasty, which I might be bought by someone by now, and Chameleon, which is more Chameleon is like the AI first solution, but admittedly like nowadays like Convert has an MCP, which is great, so you can just plug Claude into there, so you can vibe code within the HTML editor. It's cool. They are expensive pieces of tech. I will say, like, this is, if you're going to offer CRO as a service, consider who's going to manage that CRO bill, because you are looking at thousands of pounds in some cases. Like if you've got really high volume, literally thousands of pounds. But realistically, for most clients, you can be looking at 300 to 800 quid a month. And the way it often works is you will have an account, you will charge a client for the actual usage rather than like for the entire account. So like you own the account, but you'll charge a client who uses 50% of your views for 50% of the bill. Final thing on test analysis software. I mean, frankly, you can do most of it within the CRO software itself. But Google Analytics is good for the UTM stuff, for like the diving into the segments. Depends where you're getting your like other information from, but visualizing it in something like Data Studio now is great and very fast and powerful. So we would recommend doing that. And again, you can plug, I'm pretty certain you can plug Convert directly into Looker Studio nowadays. You could do it through the MCP. It will. I've not done that personally. I don't know what the data quality is like there, but again, anything where you can visualize stuff and build dashboards to centralize learnings, and it makes a massive difference.
That's the best. Giving data context is everything.
Yeah,
that's what keeps you informed. That's how you make decisions. It's not, so we talked about this, I think, last time. It's not siloed information. It's got to be something that you have the context, you have the layers, you have everything. You can have a look at, like, take that step back and actually, recognize what is going on in that sort of holistic picture.
Yeah, and it can't just live inside your head. Like, I think a big part, if you want to offer this as a service, it's like your part of your job is to build a knowledge hub for whoever you're testing for. Like, it's really like those learnings, like genuinely, whether they won or lost, like those learnings are incredibly important.
Yeah.
And if they're not
Every
surfaced
learning
and
is a
visualized, then
win,
yeah,
you
if you're
know?
not surfacing that, then you're not providing half the value
Yeah.
to your potential, to whoever you're doing this for, or for yourself, or whatever. Like, and you're not doing it for yourself because you will forget.
Yeah.
So yeah, visualize. It's important. Cool. And then easy pitfalls of offering this as a service. That we actually will mention two here very quickly. One is the one and done trap, which is actually we might even talk about three easy pitfalls. But one is the one and done trap where like you have an idea, you test, it doesn't work, and you move on. So that is not ideal. If you've got an idea and you think this hypothesis is worth really testing and going for it, test hard, like iterate,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
be winning. You are
There's not
placing
only one way of doing things, there's several
Yeah.
different ways of doing things. And I think
Lo-
that's part of it. So it's like, okay, well, if we have trust, there are so many different ways to convey trust. We're looking at social proof, we're looking at logos, we're looking at banners, we're looking at, okay, how do we convey that? So if you currently don't have trust on your above the fold, and you want to bring that in, and you bring in, let's say, just like a trust pilot, 4.8 stars out of 5, and that doesn't work. All right, that's okay. That's a good learning. We've learned that doesn't work. But
yeah.
what we have learned is that Trustpilot doesn't, like that specific style of trust,
Iteration.
that doesn't work. Exactly. But we haven't learned that trust as a whole is not going to work for you. Now let's try something different. Let's get testimonials with people's faces, with their quotes, with their stars, with their ages, with their, like, all those things. And then all of a sudden, yeah, everyone's clicking on it, everyone's doing it. And it's just the style. So yeah, you get sort of this like testing line, and you really have to go into it, lean into it, and don't be disheartened when you have a loss. It's just helping to move you in the right direction, and that's all that is.
And I think that's like a really important thing as well. Just to keep in mind more generally, like it is a journey. Like there's like an arc to this. Like the more you test, the more you learn, the better. Like your win rate will improve. It will get better. Like you just got to stick with it. And I will mention a big part of this. It's not really it's not really a separate trap, but a lot of people. But maximize test velocity. Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna call it a second trap. It's gonna be called the look and fancy trap. A lot of people test things that look and fancy, and they were high effort builds, and like you promised the world, and like you've placed a really big bet that this is gonna win, and that is a hard, that's a difficult situation to be in, because what you really want to be doing lots of small tests where you're learning small things and finding out things quickly and fast, really as fast as humanly possible. So maximize your test velocity. Do not try to design for fancy things. Do not try to sell like this is a whole new revolutionary thing. It's much better to iterate. Like obviously you need to do some like properly innovative testing and different user journeys, but very rarely do we see a user journey where we're like, this is a complete knockdown rebuild. Like, even if it is like, I want to test before I commit to that. Like I want to find out what's really moving the needle here before I start like building a particular competitor user journey. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They run different ads. They have a different sales process. Stop trying to just copy them one-to-one. Some good inspo. They have good inspo sometimes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But very rarely do big brands have good landing pages. We have done pieces on this one. They are not good sources. Find your competitor brands, like those guys who are spending lots of money on like paid media. Like they bloody get like now they're tuned in to their landing pages. But yeah. So yeah, the one and done trap, and the look and fancy trap. Avoid with as much as humanly possible.
Definitely.
Any other fun pitfalls, do you reckon? Pitfalls we can mention quickly?
I'm trying to think. I mean, there's so many little bits and pieces to it, isn't there? I mean, like getting too stuck on design, like like colors and things like that, and rather than actually thinking about the psychology behind it. But that's, I think
that's a big,
something you got to keep in mind. It's not about aesthetics. It's about that psychological kind of process that people go through. It's about risk management. It's about making sure that you can imagine who that potential customer is, who is actually visiting this page at the moment. What are the fears that they have? What are the anxieties that they have? And how can we sort of take that away from them? How can we give them like a really nice user experience? And I think I don't have a fancy name for that, so I got to think about it.
I don't know, the sales trap, trying to sell when you should be managing their risk.
Exactly. I mean,
I don't,
it's about like avoiding designing a web page for the company, and it's about
yeah.
designing for the customer. And that's really
And
what you want to be doing.
it is like it really is a very common, like we see this so often, particularly because people
Yeah.
build pages for their boss, not for their
Yeah,
client, not for their
exactly.
customer. And
Yeah.
it is an issue. Like, and
Yeah, and
okay,
there's like the amount of marketing faff that you sometimes read on a web page, and you're just like, this doesn't even mean anything. It sounds like fun
written
and
by a
flowery and
committee.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's what's that saying with like make like men to design a camel, to design a horse, and they've created a
Yeah.
camel or whatever it is. Do you
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's one of those things where you just think
I
you're
can't remember
over
the exact
engineering
idiot.
this.
Yeah. It's so
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
Particularly like in these big brands that try to offer like 10 user journeys within one page landing page. It's like,
yeah.
oh buddy, just offer one. Like one.
Keep it
Actually,
simple, stupid.
I love it. I love it. We're gonna call that the CTA, the user journey trap. Offer one.
Yeah.
Like offering more does not, in fact, increase your conversion rate. Just offer one.
Exactly.
Offering one increases your conversion rate. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
it's
our
a
favorite
difference
thing to
between a
do is
0
just
and a
to edit.
1. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, cool. So I think, based on all of this, hopefully you can see that you should be doing CRO because it will improve your performance and you will be falling behind if you're not doing it. And it's a really valuable place of structured learnings to help, really, really meaningfully engage with your client. The process itself is not crazy. Ideate, design, build, test, build, launch, analyze, and then promote. And the technology involved is really straightforward. Landing page software, again, Hayflow, lead form, it's all built in there. We super recommend it. It's great for lead gen, particularly CRO software, Convert, VW, A/B Tastely, Chameleon. Use their HTML editors inbuilt, or link them to Claude to vibe code your test designs. It's awesome. And yeah, easy pitfall. Don't build fancy. Build, for risk management and pursue testing lines. Do not give them up early. Just keep going at it. Back yourself.
Yes. Yes, I love
Lovely.
that. This is cute. Now we can get to go in and be a little bit critical. We like
Now we
that.
get to be sassy.
Yeah.
Gonna have to edit that. This is ridiculous. You'll be able to tell how busy I am next week if I've managed to edit that part out or not. So for all you watching,
I will
what's
be
my week good?
surprised if we remember it that it's even in there. It'll be live and we'll just be like, oh. Well,
Yeah, we'll
lucky
go
no one's
live.
watching, am I right?
Comment the void.
Comment the void, please.
I love it.
Oh.
Alrighty. What are we doing for Wall of Shame, Courtney? Or Wall of Fame and Shame. There may not be shame.
But,
Probably will
so we're
be.
doing actually franking machines this week, which is a little bit different. It's quite niche, but really, really interesting to look at kind of the funnels or the user journeys that they offer people. So definitely well worth looking at. We're going to start with Pitney Bowes.
Yeah.
And move on
Alrighty.
to Quadient. I think I'm saying that wrong.
Yeah. No, I think that's actually if you are, then I'm saying it wrong too.
Yeah. Is it Quadient? Could be like Radiant.
It's a US company, so it's very possible.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, if you're watching this, Quadient, please let us know.
Yeah, or is it Cadiant?
We have to move on.
Yeah.
You know what? Comment below how you reckon it said, guys.
We need the phonetics.
God. Just an FYI, franking machines allow you to send posts more cheaply. So it used to be very, very widely spread. It's a very traditional lead gen vertical, less so nowadays. Probably more relevant nowadays for order fulfillment, but it's still a very big thing. And again, like if you want to send cheaper post at scale, it is substantially cheap. Well, it is cheaper, so like I would recommend it. Cool. So, Pitney Bowles, are we ready for the paid landing page?
Let's do it.
Silence.
I know. I'm just like, oh, let's look at this. Hang on. I'm making my screen bigger. The chat being out.
It really annoys me. Really annoys me. It annoys
Anything
me
that
every
pops up,
time they do this.
Already rage filled. But I mean, besides that, I mean, we do have like a very clear CTA. It's. I'm not. I don't hate that, honestly. And this is really small and finicky, but I would prefer to have the title case for CTA. It feels
Yeah, oh
strange
God,
to have
yeah, they
franking
have.
machine.
Yeah, that
They
they keep.
don't.
Okay, yeah, it
Yeah.
feels quite. I guess because they're using so many. What's it called? Not pronouns. Proper nouns.
Yeah.
They're using so many proper nouns that it looks very janky. Yeah, maybe just use title case, guys. I like that.
Yeah. I
I
go
do
with
think this
title
is
case.
actually genuinely pretty good.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
this is not being built by committee. Like they've got a user journey. They've got one user journey, and
Yes.
they've got a very clear headline.
Yep.
And they explain
You've
like
got your
honestly
savings
like that.
angle.
Then they've got a
Perfect.
bit of trust. I don't think this is great, but I do not like the generic trust pilot bar. Like you are better than this. You do not need to use this. You can design your own.
Yeah,
Like please.
I would
But it's
agree.
not. It's fine.
It's good that they have trust. It's good that it's above the fold. It's immediately a
Yeah.
load. We're seeing
Yeah.
real answers as well because, obviously there's one of the stars that's only 4 instead of 5, which,
Yeah.
I think even more than would increase trust just because of it. Well,
Yeah. We see a lot of straw men where they're like, "Oh, this is all amazing." It's like, no, like
this
those
is the best thing
comparison
that's ever been
tables.
invented ever.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
just like it's just everybody knows that's a straw man, guys. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Goes into benefits. That's fine. It's cool. Best for so it starts to answer more questions and get more granular as you get into the page, which again, I really think is a good. It's a sensible structure. Like as you go deep in the page, clearly there are questions that are left unanswered. So they're going into it, nice and cool, and it starts to like really segment out your user journey, so you can start to, if you can do the exploratory user journey. Payment options, interesting. Okay, ebook. Okay, I mean, I could believe that. I think it's starting to get a bit too much at this point.
Yeah.
It probably could lose some of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this have a CTA.
That's yeah.
Mm.
Then select option 2, then select option 4. That feels a little bit too much. I think that having it simplify that
It's
down.
so old school. I love it.
Yeah.
I hate it. I do hate it properly, but I also part of me likes that. But yeah, maybe have a button.
Yep.
Yeah, but we're gonna have a quick look at it on mobile as well.
Very important. Paid traffic is mobile traffic.
Yeah, and you know
I
what?
think we could. I don't mind. I could. In theory, good. I think what we could do is probably make that headline a little bit bigger. We could have a little bit more spacing between everything. We
Yeah.
can kind of flesh that out a little bit. That excellent Trustpilot is just so much white space around that. That's really drawing the eye. Whereas if you brought that down a little bit and just kind of rejigged sort of that gray box where we have what we're supposed to be focusing on, gave it all a little bit more breathing space, made that CTA a bit bigger. I think it's a bit difficult to read with that pink and white in that size. I'm going to be honest.
Should we see what font size it is? Okay, it is font size 14. Oh, sorry guys, we're going to want 16 and higher.
Yeah,
That's a shame.
16px is the smallest that you have on a mobile because otherwise it is getting a bit too difficult for people to read.
And it's a very long CTA. Just like maybe get quote.
Yeah.
But I don't hate it. I like that. Also, by the way, it says the product category. Oh,
yes, we love
so
that.
often we don't see this, but I'm so glad because they have multiple solutions. So I'm glad that they just say franking machine. That they make it very very clear. Yeah, no, I don't hate it. I really dislike the chat thing that popped up. That we're seeing them more and more nowadays. Because they're like AI chat. Like, oh, please do not use them. They actively anger me.
They're so unnecessary, and really it's not a fun user experience because you're talking to a bot who has no idea about what's going on. Your questions are rarely, if ever, answered properly, and people just come away feeling duped rather than just having an option to go through a really simple funnel type situation and maybe request a call or something like that, or just have one CTA button that's going to start a phone call.
I will say one thing while I'm reading through this on mobile. It's a bit too much text for mobile.
Yeah.
Like, this is getting like, oh, okay.
And it's a lot of small text.
Yeah. What's a good question? And they're different font sizes, by the way. Yeah, this is not a consistent page. I think that's 16, which is good. 16. Hell of it. Interesting. But yeah. Anyway, we don't need to go too much deeper into that one. Overall, I think they've not done a bad job. They've not done a bad job. Should we click on the get quote and see where that goes?
Let's do it. Ooh.
again, just please use Hateflow,
Yeah,
or
please use a
Leadform for
multi-step
this.
form.
Like,
Break it down into bite-sized pieces, work them up into,
do
like
not
warming them up.
this,
Yeah, don't.
this. Oh,
On
oh,
mobile.
mm,
Terrible, like, experience. Like, it's a terrible mobile experience to have something that small pop up when you're trying to do something, especially, like, if you were filling that out. Like, if you were in the trenches of all of these input fields on mobile, and then something
I mean,
pops up and you got to
at
get
least you
rid of
got
it.
autofill, but like, Christ, I mean.
Yeah.
Like but it does start. So one thing again, so they went through different options of like, oh, this different things. Like for that, I thought this was interesting. Like maybe have that as a question.
Yeah.
Like maybe then
How
they're gonna
many
get a more
things,
meaningful
items do you
quote,
need to send
because
a day?
like this isn't a
Yeah.
quote thing. This is just a like
Yeah,
this
like,
is
what
a
am I actually
find out
getting a
more
quote for? Yeah, this is
on
a find out
postage
more.
spend, which admittedly maybe that's, I'm not sure if
Like,
that's
how many items do you
that's
need
the
to
bucket.
send? What's like
Yeah,
what's
and
your average monthly
country, I like
spend?
that's got to be further up. Like
Yeah.
yes, I don't think this is a good way to capture information. I think you capture more and better information, and you get a better conversion rate through this one. So I think they've got a good click-through rate to this form request page. Then I think this really lets you down. Really lets you down. Also, just too much. Like looking for this. If you need this, please complete this. Just like,
Yeah.
guys, we know what we're doing here. We're getting a quote. Just
Yeah. We clicked on the
put
CTA
a
that says
headline.
get your
Just
free
like get
quote.
quote. Complete
Yeah.
for quote.
Get your
That's all
quote
the
here.
information
Like,
required.
answer a few
Chat with
questions
us.
and we'll give you your quote.
You know
Yeah.
what you can do is once someone's giving you the details, then do a pop up for chat with us, like live chat with an agent, right? Like, video call chat with someone right now.
Yeah.
Now that works. Like before you've even like you're just pushing people away. Okay, but not terrible.
Overall, solid basis to start with. There are definitely some high impact tests that you could do that are very simple that would really elevate that. And I think especially with the capturing of all of that data, you just need to multi-step form that one.
We will say this until our eyes go cross-eyed from it. Okay. But genuinely, like you could just test it tomorrow and be like, wow, you get 30% more leads. Half the year off.
Imagine that.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
You've hit your financial plan,
I'm
guys.
going to Ibiza.
Anyway, moving on. So Quadient franking machines. Paid user journey. This is from PPC. I think in this case, most of the traffic from these guys are PPC, so I think this is reasonable. Let's see what they show.
Let's do it. Oops. Oops-a-daisy. They also don't do title case. That's interesting.
They do. Well, their bit.
In the top bit, in the little pink bit, purple bit.
Yeah. Title case, guys. Is it because they have so many
That's what I'm wondering. Or is it because they're American? Is this more of like an American thing that they don't do title case? That could be it.
This is the UK page. So yeah. Also, I am curious about the learn more future of franking, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
I am gonna have first major bugbear, like genuinely major bugbear. Okay, this is on desktop. You got lots of space on desktop. The actual space you can see is only like this much. And you can't even see like the picture of the thing and your CTA. Like whoever made this this is awful. Like this is like that's not even aligned. I'm sorry. I like apologies. This should be a bit more. But this is not only should you should not be displaying this information at this point, in my opinion, because I don't think people know exactly what tool they need yet, so they could be guided through it.
This is overwhelming. This is cognitive overload, and aesthetically, it's not very nice to look at. Like, and just not having.
It's just a poor representation. Like, it has to be visible with it. Like, you can't.
Well, look, that's the future of franking. It's the IX4. I would imagine that if you click on that, it'll take us something to IX4. Are we ready?
Okay.
Are we going to click it? Click it. Just do it.
Oh, I did click it. Sorry, I was looking at it, and I was actively. It's entered
a new
era.
Franking is entered a new era.
As to why, we're not quite sure, but is it cheaper?
Lol, it's just the next generation technology. So it's just the same products as on the first page.
I think it's just got like the more expensive ones now. I don't. Yeah. Okay, so
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, we digress. See, this is what people are doing on your website, and instead of going through and trying to get that quote and learn more, they're just clicking on things because they're curious, and then they can't figure out what is going on, and that's where friction happens, and that's why people bounce.
So I can see the rationale of showing your products. So these, like, if it's like a more educated user.
Hang on, wait,
Maybe this is what...
we're on the
sorry.
other page.
Apologies, I went back to this highly disappointing page. Okay, sorry. No, it's fine. But I can see the rationale of showing the products. But however, you must design these things so that people can see them. Like I'm using a normal 12-inch screen. Like this is
What does it look like on mobile?
I mean, maybe I'm just like pushing down the screen because maybe I'll zoom out a little bit. Maybe like how much do I need to? Yeah, like there's no universe that's being shown on like.
That's one of those like massive, huge things that devs have potentially.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. Okay, let's inspect it on mobile. I'm gonna refresh the page. Jesus Christ. I mean, okay. I mean, this is less overwhelming. Like you just got a headline.
Yeah, I like that.
Now if you remove that and put contact us.
Quadient. Yeah, exactly. Or like a CTA, get free quote.
Yeah.
Answer a question. Done. Yeah, done. Simple. Multi-step form. Yeah. Get that in there.
A bit of trust.
Yeah.
Would be cool.
Too easy. Yeah. So if you just scroll down, it's just going to be all of that information. Yeah. Cool.
I mean, clearly, maybe these are being designed for mobile because they just about fill. I mean, you struggle on smaller screens, but like most of, you can see just about everything on mobile. So maybe this is being designed for mobile, which I don't hate. I think
it's still got weird like spacing though. Like if you see that download the iX9 brochure, and then if you go up, like scroll up to the one before, download the iX8.
Yeah,
it's like the spacing is real weird on that, and there's huge space. Like it's just not cohesive, is it? And again, these are like small design things. These are not going to move the needle massively, but I think it would just make the overall appearance better and probably would be a nicer user experience if it's just a bit more aesthetically pleasing. There are other tests that I would do far earlier than that, which would be actually to remove all of that information immediately. Replace with some trust, a little bit of understanding, and then some multi-step forms, and we can get to it,
I don't hate
it. Even do a
–
product picker where you ask questions about what their needs are, and then you say, based on your answers, this is what we suspect would be the best for you. People don't know. They need to be told.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, if I think of this one, let's click learn more and find out like what happens. Do they just want us to okay, so now you want us to get a quote.
Now get quote.
I mean, this is like you're doing it back to front.
If I've already clicked on learn more about this, like maybe, oh look at that. How many items do you send per day, country? So that seems to be the most important. So you've got 3 questions. How many items do you send? What country are you in? And also the monthly budget on like what you're spending. Potentially you could even do a calculator that would say how much you would save if you use that specific product.
I love that. Calculator would be cool, definitely.
And there you're getting value. There you're showing people what the value is and making it tangible.
And I think also industry might be really relevant here. Like, are you e-commerce? Like, can you
potentially,
like for e-commerce, maybe you can upsell them to other stuff, and like again, and maybe be more relevant for that quote. And like, because I don't.
Potentially, I don't know enough about franking to be fair. But I mean, that's something that you could easily find out by talking to someone within, like salespeople. Yeah. What do salespeople actually need to know in order to make a sale? And how can we add that into this part of the process so that we're getting information that the sales team needs? We're also, able to make sure that people understand, hey, this is like, this is the value that you're getting. Like there's a balance that needs to be struck here, and it is not currently being utilized by Quadient, if that's how you say it. Or is it Quadrant?
I think it's Quadrant, I'll be honest.
Okay.
Or Quadient. I don't think it's Quad. I feel we've leaned into that a bit too much.
I just can't read it. Embarrassing. I apologize for being
illiterate. We're not editing that part out. Yeah. I'm Polish. I feel like I was overly negative on some of those pages. I think I can see the rationale. I do think it was poor design. And I stand by that. Those do need to be better. And I don't think it's the right choice either.
Creativity and art is meant to be there to have give a reaction. That's what's supposed to happen. So hey, look.
Yeah, it's definitely a piece of art. It engendered a very emotional response for me. I'm usually very diplomatic. I'm sorry.
I mean,
please use
interesting to
multi-step forms.
interesting to look at. Interesting to see how the different brands kind of do it. And there's definitely in both cases things that are like okay and just a lot of room for improvement, where you could say there are just really simple changes that you can make that would have such high impact that's really worth doing. So
Yeah.
give us a
I
call.
really, you know, I think I'm good, I'll be honest. I don't think we want to, I don't know how or why those pages came about, but like, I don't think we want to navigate that. Like, seriously, folks. It's so sassy today. It's terrible.
I love it.
I've had too much caffeine. That's it.
Where's that heat wave coming back just to kind of like dampen us,
Need to
dampen our
refresh me back.
spirits? Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, thank you so much for watching and listening. I hope A, you've learned how to use CRO as a service and why it might be useful for you to offer it or do it yourself. And B, the whole of Wall and Shame, I hope you enjoy. I mean,
yeah,
we do enjoy it. Yeah,
we do. We love it. Yeah, comment the void. We'll give you a funnel audit. And yeah, it's been fun as always. And I look forward to next week.
So much fun. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.